I play 1-minute games of 3 versus 1 in areas around 5 by 5, but it all depends on the capabilities of the players. Within 3 versus 1, the players get a lot of repetitions within the context of an activity that includes a defender. We'll explore 3 versus 1 more, and if you stick around until the end, I'll show you a variation that puts even higher demands on the attackers. In this video, part 1 of 2 about 3 versus 1, we'll introduce the activity and how to add overload and underload to make it more age and ability appropriate. In part 2, we'll show integral references within 3 versus 1 and how they're relevant to any game and training situation. I'm Neil Sedgwick from EpicSoccerCoach.com, where we share our experiences to provide new perspectives and practice activities for coaches at any level of the game. Often with 3 versus 1, the first question that I get from players that I haven't worked with a lot in the past are around touch restrictions. I tell the players that they're unlimited touches. They can take as many as they like, as many as they need to accomplish what they want to do. Later in the activity, I'll take a few moments to question them and then demonstrate how 1 or 2 touches can be used to draw defenders in or to play long. I rarely use touch restrictions within activities because I want players to solve problems based on what they see in the game. Players playing fast is a result of the constraints within an activity or in the big game. So instead of adjusting the touches in 3 versus 1, adjust the size of the area to change the overload, or allow players to use soft sidelines so that they can determine the overload. Because soft sidelines will allow the players to change the size of the area in real time based on their current needs. Our video on soft sidelines can be found in the video's description below. During the 1-minute game, the defenders count the number of times that they win possession. Now I call possession as the defender getting 2 consecutive touches. If the ball bounces off the defender and back to an attacker, we don't count that, nor do we count if the ball goes off the defender and out of bounds. So the defender scores a point if they get 2 touches or if the attackers kick the ball out of bounds, because in the big game, that would give possession to the defending team. It's important to note here that if you want the attackers to play faster, ensure that the defenders are providing the appropriate defending actions and effort. If 1 minute is too long for those defenders, then cut it to 45 seconds or even 30 seconds to ensure that the defender can give full overload to the attackers for the entire time. These defender actions are important because the actions afford the decisions that are made by the attacker. Without the defender's efforts, the attacking successes become artificial and non-transferable to the big game. Adjust their time in the middle to promote learning. At the end of a minute, we give a quick movement or basic action penalty. For example, if the defender wins the ball 6 times, then the attackers have to do 6 jumping jacks. We determine an activity that does not take a lot of time nor a lot of effort. Okay, before we move on to part 2 of 3 versus 1, I did promise a bonus activity. Now this is not much of a new activity, but a modification on the regular 3 versus 1. But instead of having 1 defender in the area for 1 minute, we'll create a continuous overload for the attackers by organizing 3 defenders who one after another enter the 3 versus 1. Once the defender wins the ball or it's played out of bounds, then they go get their ball and go to the back of the line. In the meantime, the next ball is passed in diagonally and the next fresh defender enters the area. This ensures that the level of decisions and execution for the attackers remains high. You won't need to tell them to play on 1 touch. The space is small, the defenders have lots of energy, and if the need is there, the players will play fast. On to video 2 of 3 versus 1, where we'll look closely at what to coach in the activity. If you find value in this video, coach, feel free to subscribe. Go ahead and hit the notification bell down below and share with a coaching colleague so that we can continue to stay connected through this channel. And if you want more content like this, as well as loads of age-appropriate technique and practice plans, head over to EpicSoccerCoach.com. Until next time, bye for now.